What is going on, Mr. Eddie Flores today? And why are we standing next to this giant ass root? This is at Balboa Park in San Diego, and we're next to a giant root because guess what? In 2021, I'm teaching people that are just getting started in photography the basics. And that's what we're gonna talk about in this video. And it's cool because all you need to know are 3 things. If you get these 3 things down, that's basically photography. That's kind of a lie, but that was clickbait at the same time. But real stuff, if you get these 3 things down, you'll know basically like 80% of what it takes to create a photo. So today we're talking about manual mode. Manual mode is scary for a lot of people. So there are 3 things that you can control in the manual mode, and that is shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. Now here's the crazy thing. If we are talking about what 2 things are the most important, in my opinion, I call it the meat and potatoes. Do you like to eat? Because I like to eat. So, and if you're vegetarian, sorry, because I like me some carne asada. So the meat and potatoes are 2 things. The meat, think about it as your shutter speed, okay? The potatoes, think about that as your aperture. Those are the 2 things that you want to start off with, okay? ISO we'll talk about last. So meat and potatoes, and think of ISO as seasoning. We're gonna touch that very, very, very last, okay? So meat, shutter speed. If we're taking pictures of crazy kids that are just moving like this, then think shutter speed, because that's what freezes time. Or if we're shooting a waterfall, if we want to show more motion, that's shutter speed. But if we want the background blurry and want it to look super cool, or want to let a lot of light in, that's aperture. So those are the 2 things that we want to talk about. So let's go over shutter speed first, okay? So meat, just remember this golden rule. When you need more light, go to the left. So I want you to set your camera to, I'm gonna say on manual mode, 1/100th of a second. And what you want to do is try rolling it, take a picture there, have your ISO at 100 or 100, and have your aperture at the lowest that your camera could go, and we'll talk about that soon, and see how dark that is. Now, if you need more light, roll your wheel to the left, and I promise you that'll give you more light. So if we go from 1/100th to 1/10th of a second, it's gonna give you more light. But what's gonna happen? Oh, now if I move a little bit, it's gonna be a blurry picture. And parents, if you are taking pictures of your kids, this is the #1 culprit of why your pictures are blurry. Because your shutter speed, for a kid that's doing karate punches and moving their face crazy, they need to be shooting at least at 1/200th of a second minimum, okay? So now that you got that rule, that's meat part 1, okay? Now let's go to the potatoes, meat and potatoes. So potatoes, really easy, it's aperture, okay? So aperture, depending on your camera, you can control it on the Canon by holding the AV and rolling the wheel. There's multiple ways to control it, but I'll leave that up to you because that would go and make this video too long. But there's a way you can control your aperture. There's multiple ways on Sony's, on Fujifilms, but if you can control this, that's the one that has the F stop, the F number, F2.8, F4, F5.6, whatever that is. Now, here's the tricky part, okay? When we go higher, F11, F16, F18, F22, that means everything starts getting in focus. And at the same time, it starts getting darker. Kind of like that thing where I told you, if you need more light, go to the left. Same rule applies with your aperture or f-stop. So if we're at f16 and we need more light, hold your button, roll your wheel to the left, and again, figure that part out because I don't know what camera you're shooting with, but try it. Go from f16, go to f4.0, 5.6, and see, did your picture get brighter? And it probably did. So if you roll your wheel to the left, that means you're getting more light. Now, why do you think I paired those as meat and potatoes? Because those 2, when you go to the left on both of them, that's when you get more light, okay? So another thing about f-stop is this. The higher it goes, the more in focus, the less light. Now let's go the opposite way. The lower we go, the more blurrier the background is. So if you shoot at f2.8 or f4.0, I would be in focus and the background would be like a blurry goodness. And this is what people love for portraits. So remember this shortcut. The lower the f-stop, the better it is for portraits. Now, again, play with that. And remember, all photography is a balancing act. Now, the final piece, and this is gonna set you bonkers right now because I just told you L to the left. But if you go with your ISO, this is the seasoning. Just remember this tip that I tell you today. ISO, always try to keep it as low as possible. If you can shoot at ISO 100, please shoot at ISO 100 because the picture is gonna look good. The higher you go in ISO, the grainier it gets, the less better quality that you're gonna get the image results. So remember that rule, okay? So ISO 100, awesome. But if you need to, say your picture's dark, your shutter speed's where it needs to be, your aperture needs to be at where it needs to be. If you go to your ISO and start off at 100 and it's still black, the photo, you might need to bump that up to 1600 or 3200 because you're probably shooting indoors. Because if you're shooting outdoors, pro tip, it's probably gonna be ISO 100 because it's so bright. So remember this, okay? Remember, meat and potatoes, you need more light, go to the left. But now the bunkers part. If you need more light with ISO, you have to go up. You have to go up. So if you're at 100 and it's dark, you have to go up to 800, 1600, 3200, and that's gonna give you artificial light. All that does is make your picture brighter. Now, I'm not gonna go into the science here because, again, this is for beginners, and all you techies, you know what it's doing to your sensor. Get out of here. This is for beginners, all right? So master those 3 things. I promise you, you'll get it. And that's what I'm gonna do in future videos. So in the next video, I want to tackle one of those things so we can play with it. It's going to be either shutter speed, aperture, or ISO. You tell me what you want to do next, drop a comment below, and we'll have some fun with it. I'm going to do it 2021 style. So let me know on the comments below, drop it, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and please share this video to someone that you know who may be interested in photography, because I know there's a lot of confusing ones on YouTube, and this will at least give you the idea, so when you watch other ones, hopefully mine, it's not gonna be that confusing. And you got some shortcuts. Remember, to the left, and then ISO, bump it up, bump it up. It's a song that I just made up just for you guys. All right, guys, Mr. Eddie Flores, out. Cool.